Senate Bill 1 is currently being debated in the Illinois General Assembly. This podcast is intended to explain the proposed legislation and the impact it would have on the Eastland Schools were it to become law. About 6 months ago, legislation was first introduced by Senator Andy Minar in the form of Senate Bill 16. It has recently been rewritten and reintroduced as Senate Bill 1. The basic idea is to take away funding that the state is providing to some districts and to increase the funding that it is providing to others. 123 districts outside of Chicago are impacted negatively by the legislation, and Eastland is among those that would be hit the hardest. Currently, Eastland receives about $634,000 annually from the state of Illinois. This money goes to instructional costs and transportation. It's a small but significant part of our annual budget. Senate Bill 1 proposes to reduce the amount that Eastland receives by $526,000, or an 83% reduction. The authors of the legislation believe that districts with high levels of property wealth per student should be expected to tax themselves at a higher rate than they are currently taxing. They see this as a minimum level of burden that all Illinois taxpayers should be expected to meet. They see this as the only fair way to reduce the state's burden for funding public education by requiring high wealth districts to spend more of their wealth so that the state can provide more assistance to low wealth districts. In truth, Illinois' dependence on a flat income tax and the refusal to raise that tax are making Senate Bill 1 one of the few options left for ensuring that schools are funded adequately and equitably. In determining how much burden each district should be required to take on, the legislation proposes an assumed tax rate for the education and transportation funds of $3.07. Eastland currently has a combined rate of $2.69. If the district were to tax itself at a rate of $3.07, it is clear that we could generate more than enough money to make up for the state funding that the legislation proposes to take away. Of course, this has an impact on homeowners. In specific terms, this means that the district would have to increase its property tax rate by 31 cents if it wanted to make up for the state funding that would be taken away from this district. This chart shows the impact of an increase on Eastland homeowners based on the value of their home. In summary, Senate Bill 1 proposes that districts like Eastland, with high assessed value per pupil, receive less help from the state of Illinois. If we wanted to hold our funding even with what we are currently spending, Eastland taxpayers would have to tax ourselves at a rate 31 cents higher than we are currently taxing. I encourage all of Eastland residents to get informed about the legislation and to ask questions and to improve your understanding of Senate Bill 1 and the Eastland budget also. Contact information for your legislators and for me personally are provided here, and I thank you for your time.